Imagine digging through your old coin jar and finding a simple penny, only to discover it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare 1-cent coins have sold for mind-blowing amounts, making collectors and everyday people rich overnight. Today, we're uncovering 10 rare and valuable pennies that could be hiding in your collection right now. Each of these coins has a shocking story, unexpected errors, and jaw-dropping value that will leave you speechless. Stay tuned, because the last penny on this list could be worth more than a brand new luxury car. Now let's take a closer look at this particular 1920 British 1 penny. At first glance, you can see it has been through decades of circulation. The once crisp details have softened, the surface shows signs of heavy wear, and the natural patina has darkened over time. But don't let the wear fool you. This coin still carries serious collector interest. This 1 penny coin was struck over 100 years ago in a post-war Britain still recovering from World War I. It features the classic design of Britannia, the female personification of Britain, seated proudly with a shield and trident, symbolizing strength and naval power. On the obverse side, we see the portrait of King George V, Britain's monarch from 1910 to 1936. His rule saw economic challenges, global conflicts, and the rise of modern Britain, and this penny is a tangible piece of that era. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1920 pennies are created equal. In 1920, the British Royal Mint switched from 95% copper to a cheaper bronze alloy due to rising metal costs. This means that some early strikes of this coin still had high copper content, making them far more valuable today. If you're lucky enough to find one of these early strikes, the value can skyrocket. And what about error coins? Some rare 1920 pennies have been discovered with misaligned dies, causing the design to be slightly off-center. Others have double strikes where the coin was stamped twice, creating a shadow-like effect on the lettering. These errors? Collectors go wild for them, and they can push the price into the 5- and even 6-figure range depending on condition. Now let's talk value. A well-worn 1920 penny like this one typically sells for $5 to $20, depending on its condition. But in better condition, with clear details and minimal wear, prices can jump to $300 or more. And then the real shocker, uncirculated versions with full crisp details and rich luster. These can reach upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 at auction. And if you have an ultra-rare proof version or an error penny, that's when things get truly insane. Some have sold for over $100,000. So if you ever come across a 1920 British 1 penny, don't dismiss it as just another old coin. It could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And remember, this is just the first coin we're covering today. The next one, even rarer, even more valuable. Stay tuned. Next up, the 1875 British 1 penny. A simple coin or a shocking hidden fortune? You may have passed by pennies like these 100 times without realizing their true value, but today we're about to uncover a jaw-dropping reality. Because if you own this coin in the right condition or with a rare variety, you could be sitting on a gold mine worth over $350,000. Moving on to the details, this penny is from the era of Queen Victoria's Bunhead series, minted between 1860 and 1894. But the 1875 edition? Oh, this one's different. This is where things get interesting, rare, and unbelievably valuable. On the obverse, we see the regal portrait of Queen Victoria, her iconic bun hairstyle, tied neatly at the back. The inscription reads, Victoria DG Brit Reg FD, as meaning Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of Britain, Defender of the Faith. But here's where things get exciting. Some 1,875 pennies have a misaligned or weakly struck legend, a rare error that could send its value skyrocketing. Collectors would pay a fortune. For an error like that, think they $50,000, even in moderate condition. Flipping over to the hot reverse. We're met with the classic Britannia design, a seated female figure holding a trident and shield, overlooking the seas. The year 1875 sits below. But here's what most people miss. There were two different mint varieties this year. 1. London Mint, no mint mark. 2. Heaton Mint, marked with May. An H? And if you have the Heaton Mint version in pristine, untouched, uncirculated condition, let's just say you won't believe how much it's worth. $125,000? Nope. $250,000? Still too low. Try a staggering $375,000 at high-end auctions. But before you get too excited, condition plays a huge role. Heavily worn, corroded versions. These still hold some value, selling anywhere from $20 to $100. Fine to very fine condition. Now we're talking real money, easily fetching $1,000 to $5,000. Extremely fine. This is where things heat up. Auction records show sales exceeding $20,000 to $50,000 for well-preserved pieces. Uncirculated with sharp details? Prepare for the six-figure jackpot. $200,000 to $375,000, depending on mint variety and errors. And here's the kicker. Some 1875 pennies exhibit a die crack across Britannia's shield or a misaligned trident. If you spot this, you're looking at a potential $400,000 treasure. Now, think about this for a second. How many times have you glanced at an old penny and dismissed it as just another coin? What if that tiny worn piece of metal in your collection is actually worth a life-changing fortune? That's the reality of coin collecting, and the 1875 British 1 penny is proof that hidden gems are out there. And just when you thought we were done, the next coin on our list is even more shocking. Stay with me because what's coming next could be the most valuable penny you've ever heard of. Next up, let's talk about a coin that's often overlooked, but one that's hiding a shocking secret when it comes to its value. The 1929 1 penny. Now, this might seem like just another British penny, but trust me, this coin has a rich history and value that will surprise you. The 1929 1 penny was minted during the reign of King George V, a monarch who saw significant changes during his reign. It was an era that witnessed economic shifts, and this penny tells the tale of the times. The design of the coin is simple yet regal, featuring the image of King George V on the obverse. On the reverse, you'll see the seated Britannia, holding a trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's naval power and strength. It's a design that has stood the test of time and remains iconic to this day. Now let's dive into the value because this is where it gets truly interesting. The 1929 1 penny is a coin that can fetch a surprising price, depending on its condition. In circulated condition, you're looking at a value that could range from $20 to $30. But hold on, don't get too comfortable just yet. Because when we talk about coins in uncirculated condition, that's where the real jaw-dropping numbers come into play. An uncirculated 1929 1 penny can easily fetch anywhere between $500 to $800, and you're probably wondering, what's the catch? Well, that's just the beginning. If you find this penny with an error, like a mistrike or doubling on the date, this is where it could shoot up to an entirely different level. These errors are incredibly rare, and finding one could see its value skyrocket. Imagine owning one of those rare misstruck pieces. That's right, it could easily push the value beyond $30,000. Yes, you heard that right. $30,000 for a 1929 1 penny with an error in minting. And if you thought that was all, let's talk about the exceptional condition of the rarer specimens. Coins that are in near-perfect condition, free from scratches, dirt, or wear, can reach an astonishing value in the collector's market. A pristine 1929 one penny, no matter how small the details, can be valued at over $100,000, especially if it has a unique error. The market for coins like these is highly competitive, with collectors constantly on the lookout for these hidden gems. So, where are these coins hiding? You'll likely find them in collections, perhaps passed down through generations, and sometimes even in coin rolls or old jars of change. But here's the kicker. It's not just about finding a 1929 one penny. It's about finding one in mint or error condition that truly makes it stand out. When you do, you could be looking at a fortune just waiting to be discovered. Let me leave you with this. Imagine you've got a box of old coins, maybe one from your grandparents' collection. You take a look, and there it is, the 1929 one penny, perfectly preserved. You have no idea what it's worth. But then you do a little digging. And what do you know? You've just uncovered a coin that could change your life. Now this is the excitement that coin collecting brings to the table. That sense of discovery, that thrill of uncovering something valuable when you least expect it. And remember, not every coin is going to fetch hundreds of thousands, but the possibilities are endless. Keep your eyes peeled because you just never know when the next 1929 one penny will appear in your collection, ready to shock you with its value. Moving on, we're diving into another fascinating coin that has a story to tell, the 1927 one penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin from the early 20th century, but let me tell you, this piece of history is hiding something truly remarkable. The 1927 one penny, minted under the reign of King George V, is a symbol of an era that was full of change and uncertainty. The world was still recovering from the aftermath of World War I, and the British Empire was at a crossroads. On the obverse of this coin, we see the classic profile of King George V, with his regal crown and dignified expression. The reverse features Britannia once again, seated on a rock, holding her trident and shield, a powerful representation of Britain's strength and resilience. The design is simple, yet it carries a weight of history that's difficult to overlook. Now, let's talk value, because that's where things get really exciting. In circulated condition, a 1927 one penny is worth a modest amount, anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on how much wear it has sustained over the years. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Hold on tight, because when you get your hands on one in uncirculated condition, that's when the value starts to soar. An uncirculated 1927 one penny can easily fetch $200 to $300, and you're probably thinking that's impressive. But wait, the best is yet to come. If you happen to come across a 1927 one penny with a rare error, such as a misaligned die or a doubled inscription, you're looking at something that could fetch well over $5,000, and in some cases, even $10,000. These error coins are highly sought after, and finding one is like striking gold in the world of numismatics. But here's the real kicker. A 1927 one penny in near-perfect pristine condition with absolutely no wear and tear can push the value into the stratosphere. These rare specimens can be worth as much as $150,000 or more. And if you thought that was the limit, think again. Some particularly rare examples of the 1927 one penny have been known to fetch up to $300,000 in private sales. That's right, $300,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 1 penny over 90 years ago. It's mind-blowing. Now imagine this. You come across a coin collection passed down from a relative, and among the old worn-out coins, you find a 1927 one penny. It looks almost brand new, untouched by time. You take it to a coin expert, and they tell you it's worth 6 figures. That's the excitement coin collecting brings. The chance to uncover something hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to discover its true value. The world of coin collecting is full of these stories of ordinary people stumbling upon extraordinary treasures. And the 1927 one penny is just another example of how valuable something so seemingly simple can be. Whether it's a coin with a rare error or one in flawless condition, this penny is a reminder that history is full of surprises. So, keep your eyes peeled. The next time you're sorting through your old coins or visiting a coin shop, you might just come across a 1927 one penny that could change your life. You never know what hidden treasures are out there, just waiting to be discovered. Next up, let's uncover the hidden secrets of a coin that you might think is just another old penny, but I assure you, the 1919 one penny is far from ordinary. This coin has an incredible story, and the shocking truth about its value will leave you speechless. The 1919 one penny was minted during a significant time in history, right after the end of World War I, a time when the world was grappling with its aftermath. King George V was still on the throne, and the coin features his familiar portrait on the obverse. This image of George V with his regal crown has become iconic over the years. On the reverse, you'll find the timeless Britannia sitting strong and steady, holding her trident and shield, representing the enduring might of the British Empire. It's a simple yet elegant design that tells the story of a nation recovering from war. Now let's dive into the real jaw-dropping part, the value of the 1919 one penny. In circulated condition, this penny may seem like it's only worth a couple of dollars, maybe $3 to $5, depending on how much wear it's accumulated over the years. But that's just the start. Hold on to your seat, because when we talk about uncirculated examples of the 1919 penny, the value skyrockets. In uncirculated condition, a 1919 one penny can fetch anywhere between $50 to $100. But here's where things get truly mind-blowing. If you come across this coin in a perfect, flawless state, we're talking about a valuation that could reach as high as $10,000 or more. Yes, $10,000 for a single penny that was minted over 100 years ago. That's the power of a well-preserved coin with a perfect strike and no visible wear or scratches. And if you think that's the highest it can go, you'd be wrong. Here's where it gets truly shocking. If you manage to find a rare error with the 1919 one penny, such as a misstruck coin with a double die or a notable minting flaw, that coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. These error coins are incredibly sought after by collectors, and finding one could make your coin collection worth a small fortune. In some cases, these error pennies have been known to sell for over $50,000, and that's not even the top end of their value. But the ultimate revelation is this: a near-perfect 1919 one penny in the highest grade, with no imperfections, no signs of aging, and possibly even with a rare error, could easily push its value beyond $300,000. Imagine owning one of these coins, knowing it's worth more than a brand new car or even a house in some parts of the country. The sheer rarity of a coin in such impeccable condition means that it's one of the most coveted pieces in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's picture this. You inherit a box of old coins from a family member, and buried deep in the pile is a 1919 one penny, looking almost brand new. You take it to a coin dealer, expecting maybe a couple of bucks, and what you hear instead is a number that could change your life. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovering something incredibly valuable when you least expect it. And so, the 1919 one penny serves as a reminder that there's treasure hidden all around us, often in the most unlikely of places. Whether it's a small error or a perfectly preserved example, this coin shows that the world of numismatics holds more surprises than we can imagine. Keep an eye out, because the next time you come across a 1919 penny, it could be the one that makes you rich. Moving on, let's take a deep dive into a coin that you probably wouldn't expect to hold such staggering value, the 1917 one penny. This might seem like just another coin from the early 20th century, but trust me, The shocking truth about its worth will definitely catch you off guard. The 1917 one penny was minted during a year of significant historical change, right in the midst of World War I. The world was still reeling from the Great War, and this coin, like many others, served as a reminder of the resilience of the British Empire. On the obverse, we find the familiar image of King George V, a monarch who led Britain through a turbulent period of global conflict. The reverse of the coin features Britannia, ever strong and proud, seated on a rock, holding a trident and shield, a symbol of Britain's might at the time. Now let's talk value, because here's where the 1917 one penny takes an unexpected turn. In circulated condition, the 1917 one penny might seem like a modest find. You're likely looking at a coin that's worth anywhere from $5 to $10, depending on how much wear it's endured. But this is where things get really exciting. When you start talking about uncirculated examples of the 1917 one penny, the value takes off like a rocket. A pristine, uncirculated 1917 one penny can easily fetch anywhere between $100 to $200. But hold on, don't get too comfortable, because that's just the beginning. If you manage to find a 1917 penny with an error, such as a die crack, misalignment, or double die, you're looking at a coin that could potentially fetch upwards of $5,000 to $10,000. These error coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors who are always on the lookout for those unique one-in-a-million pieces. Now, here's the most shocking part. A 1917 one penny in perfect, flawless condition, free from any scratches, wear, or dirt, can be worth a staggering $50,000 to $100,000. That's right, up to $100,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 1 penny over a century ago. But wait, there's more. The rarest of these 1917 pennies, those that are in impeccable condition and possibly even carrying an error, could easily fetch over $300,000 in private sales or at auction. A 1917 one penny that's in the highest grade imaginable is a true treasure, and it's not something you'll come across every day. Now just imagine this scenario. You're sorting through your family's old coin collection, and among the mix of old and worn-out coins, you spot the 1917 one penny. It doesn't look like much at first, but upon closer inspection, you realize it's in pristine condition. You take it to a trusted expert, and what you hear next blows your mind. This single coin is worth 6 figures. That's the excitement and thrill of coin collecting, a discovery that can change your life. The 1917 one penny proves that there are hidden gems everywhere, often in the most unsuspecting places. Whether it's a well-preserved piece or one with a rare error, this coin shows just how valuable something seemingly insignificant can become over time. Coin collecting is about the hunt, the discovery, and the knowledge that sometimes something as simple as a penny can hold the key to an incredible fortune. So keep your eyes open. The next time you come across a 1917 penny, it might just be the moment your life changes forever. Moving on, let's dive into the remarkable 1903 one penny. This coin has quite the story to tell, and it's going to leave you stunned when you hear just how valuable it is today. If you thought the 1913 one penny was impressive, wait until you get a load of the 1903. The 1903. One penny was minted during the reign of King Edward VII, who succeeded his mother, Queen Victoria, to the throne. His rule marked a transition from the Victorian era to the Edwardian period, and this coin serves as a reminder of a time when the British Empire was at its peak. On the obverse, the coin features the regal portrait of King Edward VII, created by the renowned engraver George William de Saulles. On the reverse side, the classic Britannia image is still present, seated proudly with her trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's strength and dominance. Now here's where things get interesting. In circulated condition, a 1903 one penny is worth only a few dollars. You might find one for $5 to $10, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. These pennies, though, are not all created equal. As with any collectible, the real treasure lies in coins that are in exceptional condition. If you manage to find a 1903 penny that's in uncirculated condition, you're in for a shock. A pristine, uncirculated 1903 penny can easily command anywhere from $50 to $100, and that's already a solid return for a coin that started life with a mere penny's value. But hold on, because here's where the real magic happens. If you come across a 1903 penny with a minting error, a double die, an off-center strike, or any kind of misalignment, you could be sitting on a fortune. Error coins like these are incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors, with some fetching anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. But it gets even crazier. The 1903 one penny, especially those with minting errors or found in nearly perfect condition, can reach incredible values at auctions or private sales. A flawless example of the 1903 one penny, perhaps graded as MS-65 or higher, could easily be valued at $100,000 to $150,000. That's right, this coin that was once worth just 1 penny can now demand a price that's in the realm of 6 figures. Imagine finding one of these beauties in your collection. Picture it, hidden among your family's old coins or tucked away in a dusty box for years. It doesn't look like much at first glance, but as you hold it in your hands, you start to realize it's in near-perfect condition. You decide to get it evaluated, and the shocking truth comes to light. It's worth a fortune. The 1903 one penny exemplifies the hidden treasures that can be waiting in your collection. Whether it's in the form of an uncirculated coin or a rare minting error, this penny is far more than meets the eye. It's a perfect example of how a coin, which may seem insignificant at first, can appreciate over time into something of immense value. As with all valuable coins, the key is knowledge, knowing what to look for, and understanding how even the slightest imperfection can significantly increase a coin's value. So, the next time you come across a 1903 one penny, think twice before tossing it aside. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Next up, we've got a coin that's truly a hidden gem, the 1921 one penny. At first glance, it might look like just another old penny, but trust me, this coin is far from ordinary. If you've ever thought that your old coins might be worth something, this one will definitely make you rethink the value of your collection. The 1921 one penny was minted during the reign of King George V, who ruled the United Kingdom through the World War I years and into the early stages of the interwar period. This was a time of great change, not only for the world, but for Britain as well. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of King George V, created by the renowned engraver Bertram McKennell. His stoic face on the coin is a testament to the stability he provided during some of the most turbulent years in British history. On the reverse side, the iconic Britannia is still seated proudly, her trident and shield a symbol of the empire's enduring strength. Now, let's talk value. In circulated condition, the 1921 one penny isn't anything to write home about. You're looking at a coin that might fetch $5 to $15 depending on how worn down it is. However, don't let the low starting point fool you, because when this coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it enters a whole new value bracket. If you come across a 1921 one penny that's been perfectly preserved, it could be worth anywhere between $200 and $500. A coin in this condition is still quite rare, especially given its age and the wear coins naturally undergo over time. But here's where the excitement truly begins. There are certain rare minting errors found on some 1921 pennies that push the value into a whole new level, especially for collectors who have a keen eye for errors. One such error is the double die error, where the design has been struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling of the image on both sides of the coin. If you manage to find a 1921 one penny with this error, you could be looking at a value in the range of $5,000 to $10,000, or even more. But wait, there's more. The real shocker comes with the discovery of a 1921 one penny in mint state, especially one that has been preserved in a perfect, uncirculated condition. Coins in near-perfect condition, graded as MS-65 or higher, can command prices that will leave you speechless. In fact, the value for a flawless 1921 penny could reach as high as $50,000 or even more at auction. Imagine that. A coin that was once worth a single penny could now be worth over $50,000. This isn't just a coin, it's a piece of history that collectors dream of owning. This rare and valuable coin serves as a reminder of how quickly the value of a seemingly ordinary item can skyrocket, especially when it comes to coins with historical significance, errors, or extraordinary preservation. The 1921 one penny is one of those coins that will surprise you every time you take a closer look. Whether it's an uncirculated coin, an error specimen, or just a well-preserved piece of history, this coin is definitely one that should make you double-check your collection. Imagine finding this coin in a box of old family relics or spotting it in a coin roll hunt. It might look like a simple penny at first, but with its rich history, minting errors, and potential for extraordinary value, it could turn out to be one of your greatest discoveries. So, the next time you come across a 1921 one penny, don't just let it slip through your fingers. It could very well be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Now, let's move on to another coin that's bound to spark your curiosity, the 1938 one penny. This particular penny is not just another coin from the past, it's one that packs a punch in terms of history, rarity, and, yes, you guessed it, value. The 1938 one penny was minted during the reign of King George VI, a period marked by both challenges and triumphs for the British Empire. At the time, King George VI was stepping into a leadership role after the abdication of his brother, King Edward VIII. The king's portrait featured on the obverse of the coin was designed by the engraver Thomas Humphrey Paget. His somber expression was meant to symbolize the king's steadfast determination during a tumultuous time. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar image of Britannia, symbolizing the strength and unity of the nation. So, what makes the 1938 one penny stand out among its peers? While it might seem like just another coin, this penny has some surprises up its sleeve when it comes to value, especially when we start talking about condition. In circulated condition, a 1938 penny won't break the bank. It might fetch anywhere from $5 to $20. It's still a piece of history, but its true worth is often hidden for the average collector. But, and here's the kicker, if you happen to find a 1938 one penny that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're looking at a much more impressive value. Coins in excellent condition with no wear or discoloration can range from $100 to $300. While that might not sound like a jaw-dropping sum, keep in mind that the rarity of a perfectly preserved 1938 penny is what makes it so special. Coins like these were made to circulate and get worn down over time. So, a mint condition 1938 penny is not something you come across every day. Hold tight, though, because here's where things get even more interesting. There are certain errors that can make the 1938 one penny a true collector's dream. Take the double die error, for example. A double die error occurs when the design is struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling of the image on the coin. If you find a 1938 penny with this error, you could be holding a coin worth anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, depending on the severity of the error. Now we're talking about some serious value, and just when you thought it couldn't get more exciting, let's talk about the super rare specimens. If you come across a 1938 penny that's been graded as MS-65 or higher, a coin that's virtually flawless, it could fetch a mind-boggling price of up to $50,000 or more. That's right. A single penny originally worth just 1 cent could now be worth $50,000 because it has been preserved in such incredible condition. Imagine what a find like that could do for your collection. It's a game changer. This is exactly what makes the 1938 1 penny such an exciting coin for collectors. What may seem like a common everyday penny could easily be the key to a life-changing discovery. The 1938 penny is a prime example of how coins from the past can take on a whole new life in today's market. So, next time you stumble upon a 1938 1 penny, don't dismiss it without giving it a second look. It could be far more valuable than you ever imagined. Whether it's an uncirculated gem or a rare error, the 1938 1 penny is definitely one that should not be overlooked. This coin holds its own in the world of collectibles, and it could be hiding in your collection right now, just waiting to be discovered. Next up, let's talk about a coin that might not be as widely recognized, but certainly packs a punch when it comes to value and rarity, the 1922 1 penny. This particular coin is a prime example of how a simple change in minting can result in a coin that is highly coveted by collectors and worth far more than its original value. The 1922 1 penny was struck during the reign of King George V, a period that marked both triumphs and hardships for the United Kingdom. King George V was a monarch who led Britain through World War I, and the 1920s were a time of rebuilding and recovery. On the obverse of the 1922 penny, we see the portrait of King George V designed by the famous engraver Bertram McKennell. His stoic and resolute face is a symbol of leadership during a time of change. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic image of Britannia, which had become a standard design for British coins during this era. At first glance, the 1922 1 penny might seem like just another coin, but it's far more special than you might think. For starters, this coin was minted in large numbers, so you might assume it's not particularly rare. While it's true that many 1922 pennies were produced, what truly sets this coin apart are the specific conditions and errors that could make it worth a small fortune. In circulated condition, a 1922 penny typically won't fetch much. It might be worth anywhere from $5 to $15, depending on how much wear it's accumulated over the years. Not impressive by any means, but here's where things start to get exciting. If you can find a 1922 penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it's nearly flawless and has been preserved in pristine condition, it could fetch anywhere between $150 and $500. Not bad, right? But hold on, the real value of the 1922 1 penny comes in the form of rare minting errors. The most famous of these errors is the weakly struck or no D variety. You see, the 1922 pennies were struck with a D mint mark in some cases, signifying that they were minted at the Denver Mint. However, some coins were struck so poorly that the D mint mark is either barely visible or completely missing. This error is extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. A 1922 1 penny with the no D or weakly struck mint mark error could be worth a staggering $10,000 or more, depending on its condition. Now, that's a shockingly high value for a penny, and it doesn't stop there. If you happen to find a 1922 1 penny in mint condition with a prominent error, the value could push well into the tens of thousands, sometimes even reaching $50,000 or more, depending on how rare the error is and how well the coin has been preserved. When it comes to this penny, even slight imperfections or variations in the strike can cause its value to skyrocket. The 1922 1 penny is a clear reminder of how small variations in minting and condition can completely transform a coin's value. What was once a common penny in circulation has now become one of the most desirable coins for collectors. Whether it's the rare no D mint mark error or a flawless specimen with no imperfections, the 1922 1 penny is a fantastic example of how numismatics is more than just about collecting coins. It's about uncovering hidden treasures from the past. So, next time you come across a 1922 one penny, don't dismiss it too quickly. It could very well be the hidden gem in your collection, and with the right minting error or pristine condition, it could turn into a fortune.